Native Americans tried to convince Europeans to start bathing, but failed. The Pilgrims brought a lot of things to America. One of them was persistent body odor. Native accounts mention the settlers' smell. The Wampanoag bathe regularly, but 17th century Europeans did not. One of the natives even tried to convince them. Tisquantum, aka Squanto, was a Patuxet Indian. He tried to explain the importance of washing. His attempts were in vain. Western Europeans had no custom of bathing. This remained the case until at least the mid-1700s. The aversion to bathing had nothing to do with status. Louis XIV reportedly only took 3 baths in his entire life. Both rich and poor washed their faces and hands daily or weekly, but washing the whole body would have been a bizarre notion. The Pilgrims and the Puritans after them actually avoided it. They thought that submerging the whole body in water was unhealthy. Moreover, it would have required them to undress. Taking off one's clothes was considered immodest. Of course, Europeans had ideas about cleanliness, but in the 1600s, they weren't associated with water. For instance, there were bathhouses in the colonies, but they were not for bathing in the modern sense. Bathhouses were thought of as a kind of medicinal cure. It was also a place for wealthy people to relax. Basically, they were the wellness spas of the 17th century. Each of the 3 baths taken by Louis XIV served a medical purpose. The royal physician believed they'd cure Louis's convulsions. Instead, cleanliness was associated with underwear. The colonists wore white linens under their clothes. Changing them regularly was a way of staying clean. The whiter the linens, the cleaner the person. That's what the colonists believed anyway. They thought that the linen was what really kept the body clean. The underwear itself was seen as the agent that cleaned the body. It supposedly absorbed the body's impurities, dirt, and sweat. The linens were supposed to be a little visible around the collar. This allowed others to see how clean the wearer was. Cleanliness was also equated with moral purity. That's why ministers wore distinctive white collars. Without bathing, the collars got dirty quickly. They had to be changed often. A pure white collar signified the person's moral standing. Puritans also had similar attitudes to their bed linens. Going to bed dressed in outer clothes was considered immoral. Dirtying the bed linens was the ultimate unhygienic act. Native Americans had different priorities in terms of hygiene. Most of them bathed openly in rivers and streams. They were also repelled by handkerchiefs. They thought it was gross for Europeans to carry their own mucus around. Interestingly, neither the natives nor the colonists used soap. Lye soap was widely available at the time, but it was not used for bathing or washing one's body. Soap was strictly a laundry detergent. The problem of body odor grew more pressing as the population grew. Wealthy women masked it with cologne or perfume. Those who had less money opted for scented powder. It was a cologne made of rum and bay leaves. But by the middle of the 18th century, bathing had become common.